Tom Hanks appeared on Saturday Night Live portraying a Trump supporter who is racist, and SNL is getting dragged and roasted over it. Because apparently Saturday Night Live didn't get the memo that Trump is popular. His approval rating is very high, higher than it's ever been, and he won the popular vote. But how about we explore this? And I'll show you where the liberals are currently at in their shattered brains. You know, it's pretty wild that they can't seem to understand that they're not popular. During the first Trump administration, Trump actually won. And they played off this, yeah, but Hillary had the popular vote, therefore Trump is not actually that popular. He's a minority president. The reality was a lot of people actually did like Trump. A lot of people didn't like him. But the people who liked him were paying more attention to what was going on than the people who didn't. In 2020, when Biden won, Biden had a strong approval rating for a little while, and then after Afghanistan, he was underwater. Trump wasn't really around for a couple of years, like he wasn't really that big in the press. DeSantis was rising up, but more and more people were getting fed up with the lockdowns, and Trump was actually becoming secretly more popular. Hence, when Trump ran for his re-election in 2024, he won the popular vote, indicating a shift had occurred in this country, and we were right to stand up for what we did. The New York Post says Tom Hanks roasted over disgusting portrayal of Trump supporter at SNL 50th anniversary special. It was silly. It was dumb. Let me play the clip that they have for the New York Post. I don't think it's all that substantive, but...
Speaking of church, can I say something? If more folks went to church, we wouldn't be in this mess we're in now.
You know what? I agree with you, Doug. I'd like to shake your hand, sir. Here we go.
No,
oh, no.
Like that.
Oh, no. It's just a handshake. Yeah, it's just a handshake. Yeah, all right. You're welcome at Black Jeopardy anytime.
All right. Well, thank you, my brother. Maybe I'll start a show for you to come on, and we'll call it What Jeopardy?
No. We don't need it. We don't need it.
I don't get what they're trying to do with the portrayal. It's just like a guy who's wearing a Trump hat and he's racist, and this is how they see it. This is how they portray it. You know what's funny is a lot of people in New York supported Trump. He made a lot of ground. He gained a lot of ground. And SNL's supposed to be for America. This is what they don't seem to understand. Trump won the popular vote. His approval rating is above water. He's got a positive approval rating. Who are you talking to? You know, man, I guess there's no point in trying to convince people. You can bring a horse to Harvard, but you can't make them learn, can you? New York Post says, America's sweetheart, Tom Hanks, was crucified by conservatives over his disgusting portrayal of a simple Trump-supporting racist on the SNL 50th anniversary special. Well, to be fair, nobody watches SNL except for these weird lefty types anyway, so that's probably why they're doing it. The two-time Academy Award winner returned to the stage Sunday night as Doug, a dumb MAGA hat-wearing contestant on the recurring bit Black Jeopardy, where the butt of the joke is Hank's character and the black contestants discovering their similarities. Okay. During the sketch, Doug, who first appeared in the comedy show in 2016, refuses to shake hands with the game show host, Darnell Hayes, played by Kenan Thompson. Don't like that. Whoa, 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 Doug blurts. Maybe I'll start a show for you to come on. We'll call it White Jeopardy. The skit outraged Trump supporters who quickly bashed it as tired and a disgusting trope. The show wonders why their ratings are in the gutter. Former RFK Jr. aide Link Lauren posted, Trump won the popular vote. This tired trope of MAGA is racist. It's disgusting. SNL is an unfunny show for snobbish liberal elites. Conservative commentator Benny Johnson raged, the show writers have learned nothing. He is correct. I am mad about it. Like, I don't care. I don't want, look, my position has always been, you do you, woke enterprise, and I just won't buy it. Like, you make a video game where a pink-haired woman with a with the side of her head being shaved, with a prosthetic hand in World War I fighting against, the Austro-Hungarian Empire or whatever. I ain't going to buy it. I don't care that you made it. You can make whatever you want. People make walking simulator video games all the time. I just don't play it. I go on PlayStation all the time. It's not even about being woke. If your game is bad, I ain't touching it. If your show's stupid, I won't watch it. So when SNL keeps making garbage content, I don't care. Like, they're allowed to do it. I'm not mad. Like, if they did a segment called, Trump is really dumb and he's portrayed by Alec Baldwin, oh, wait, they did that 700,000 times. Yeah, they're allowed to do that. It's just stupid, and I won't watch it. The Onion is allowed to be garbage, too. I just don't read it. Babylon Bee is actually funny. SNL decided it was a good idea to depict Tom Hanks as a racist Trump supporter in a MAGA hat, afraid to shake a black man's hand. Donald Trump just won a landslide election, has never been more popular with Americans and African Americans. Popular conservative social media account Libs of TikTok labeled it propaganda and lambasted it as dumb. The 3.5-hour special was chock full of jabs at the sitting president and his bold policies. During the opening monologue, SNL alum Steve Martin joked that he had just been on a boat in the Gulf of Steve Martin, a dig at Trump's decision to rename the Gulf of Mexico to America. Fellow Canadian comic and one of Martin's oldest pals, Martin Short, then joined him on stage with Martin ribbing him about his immigration status. Do you have your passport on you? ICE, get him. Ha, ha, ha. Well, my friends, let's check in on David Pakman, see how he's doing. Over at the David Pakman subreddit, there's an actual question posted with 229 upvotes. Do you know any normal people who support what Donald and Elon are doing? Is it only white supremacists? David, what have you done? Oh, David Pakman. The dude used to be normal, but David's whole MO, let me tell you about David Pakman. 10 years ago, like 13, 14 years ago, he had on a woman from the Westboro Baptist Church and some hackers, part of a sect of the Anonymous hacker group. For those who don't know what Anonymous is, it quite literally means the word. So when a video emerged and it says, we oppose the government doing this thing, Anonymous, it literally meant it was a random person who didn't leave their name. It didn't mean there was a group of people planning anything. But the media loved this idea that there was a hacker group of like 13 people with supreme hacker abilities called Anonymous. No, that's not how it works. Anyway, they had on these guys from a group that was actually called LulzSec at the time. And at the time, they weren't LulzSec. I believe they're just calling themselves Anonymous. And it was a wild time with Anonymous stuff. Crazy to watch this stuff happen. But anyway, they hacked the Westboro Baptist Church in real time. David got a ton of attention for that. David's goal, in my opinion, having known the guy for this long, is that he largely just wanted to get the viewership. He was trying to figure out how to recreate these moments and get these viral sensations. And thus, you end up with content that is convoluted and misleading. You end up with people actually suggesting no one actually likes what Trump and Elon are doing except for white supremacists. Is that the world your audience lives in, David? Yeah, maybe it's just Reddit. I don't know. But that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. No wonder they watch shows like SNL and they're like, oh, MAGA racist. It's funny. One guy says, I have a friend who thinks the mass firings will make the government better. He's also dependent on that VA for medical care. Yeah, now let's see what happens when his waiting time to see a doctor has doubled or tripled. Hey, wait a minute. Thought we were supposed to be in favor of government health care. Oh, yeah. When the government doesn't function properly because Trump can get elected, that's democracy. Your wait times can double or triple. That kind of worries me about what you guys are going to implement with universal health care. One guy says, I know normal people who turn a blind eye and refuse to believe what's going on. These people aren't hateful and don't necessarily wish harm. They are just skeptical. Guys, you are in a bubble, okay? I can just pull up the aggregate approval rating. Regular people, meaning not you, they support what Trump is doing. Take a look at this one from the David Pakman Show subreddit. I love this. I love reading this stuff. You guys, you got to go to these subreddits and read what they're talking about because Reddit is hilarious. We need to boycott any establishment that lets in patrons who wear MAGA apparel. MAGA Nazis should be socially ousted, not let into establishments, and generally should not feel comfortable going out in public sporting their support for Trump. Donald Trump is the popular mandate president. He won the popular vote. He is above water in the approval ratings, and you are acting like everyone else is crazy. I heard a saying the other day used among the bartenders that really stuck with me. You let one Nazi into the bar and suddenly it's a Nazi bar. I'm going to pause you right there. But when you let a commie in, it's not a commie bar? Oh, dude, shut up. All of us non-Trumpers need to organize mass boycotts of establishments that allow openly MAGA customers in, so that if they continue doing so, they financially bleed. This needs to be a nationwide thing. How do we get this going? Edit, boycotting is not a form of harassment, folks. It is just so cringe. Let's take a look at what they say about Bill Burr. Bill Burr says billionaires should be put down like rabid dogs. Yeah, okay. That dude, I'm going to say this. Bill Burr on his show told people they should go and harm people. That's against all the rules of every platform. Now, on Apple and Spotify, they wouldn't ban it because they're basically RSS feeds, meaning they're not really hosting it. But how is it that this guy is not facing any repercussions from saying such a psychotic thing? All right, first comment is, if Rogan can say that Democrats are part of a cabal that track people and make them sick with vaccines, I really don't think there's anything wrong with what Bill is saying. He is the Joe Rogan. Okay, roll with it, baby. Did Joe actually say that? That doesn't sound like Joe. I don't know about idolizing people. Didn't Rogan start somewhat like this? Then he isolated himself and got super rich and his whole perspective changed. Burr is correct about this. I just don't know how I feel about falling from one charismatic person to another. Billionaires do largely nothing. It's the stupidest thing imaginable. I know some billionaires. I've met them. It's not what people think. Certainly, there's wealth, but typically, billionaires, you don't have $1 billion to do whatever you want with. That's the stupidest thing. Most wealthy individuals have substantially less liquid resources to implement projects than their actual net worth. I can't speak for Elon. I'd estimate, I bet he pulls in like 20 million in cash a year or something like this. He's the richest man in the world, though. Yeah, but it's all tied up in SpaceX and Tesla. Now, he was supposed to get a $70 billion pay package, but no sane human being has that in cash. It's like not even easy to do. So I think Bezos gets like $83,000 a month. He gets like $1 million salary a year plus $1 million in bonuses. He has a lot of what he has through financing these things. How does he have a mega yacht? Because he finances these things against his stock in these companies and the schedule by which he can pay up. Don't get me wrong. They have a lot of money, but the real issue is not being a billionaire. It's the degree of control you have. Thus, the power of a billionaire in this world is tremendous. But Trump, as a billionaire, more importantly as the president, has substantially more power. Vladimir Putin, not a good dude, has substantially more power than any billionaire. Not necessarily the president, but political leaders rival the power and influence. Having wealth on paper doesn't move the needle all that much. So ultimately, my friends, I give you this. Is this the state of the left, David? Is this the audience you foment? Would you please just make a video saying Trump's approval rating is plus 3.4? I'll tell you what David would do. You can go to his approval rating, which is a question of the job he is doing. And you can see that Trump is doing very, very well. Okay, let's try favorability. Oh, no. Trump is unfavorable. What you're going to see with the likes of Pakman and his other liberals is they're going to say something like, even with everything happening, Trump is still unfavorable. While he's improved, he's still under what? Favorability is different than approval rating. Favorability is, do you like the guy? Approval rating is he doing a good job? And I got no problem saying, a lot of people don't like Donald Trump. He's greatly improved. Look at this. Coming almost to even. I mean, it's within the margin of error. But the people look at it and say, I may not like the guy, but he's getting the job done. So live in it, I guess. These people are insane. I'll leave it there. Smash the like button. Share the show with everyone you know. Go to timcastpremium.com. Sign up for Rumble Premium. Use promo code TIM10. Let's go. Follow me on X and Instagram, and we will see you all in the next segment.